channel. I hope you guys are doing great. Happy Memorial Day for all those here stateside, and happy Monday to everyone else, or a random holiday. Whatever. I had cupcakes for breakfast, so no one's policing that. You can just make it cupcake day if you want, if you're outside of the States and you need a holiday. Okay, you guys, I am going to be talking about paper a little bit and then making a journal. So join me if you like. And but let's just talk about paper first. Hey, Bug. Good morning. How are you, dear? Hey, Sala. Hello, hello. I was just saying happy Memorial Day to everyone in the States, and happy whatever holiday, or just make it a cupcake day if you're not in the States. So, because I had cupcakes for breakfast. So, first I wanted to talk about paper. I had a question about paper come through my email and I didn't answer it yet. I figured the best place to answer it would be here, and then I can link to it because I can show the paper. It's kind of hard for me. I've been trying to find the best paper too. Hey, Jara. Hi. Yeah. My daughter and I made cupcakes for their graduation party / summer party yesterday. It was so much fun. We had a whole lot of fun, but I slept in, so yeah, I can do that. Today I can do that. There's no school for one. Hey, Cheryl, good morning, sweetie. Okay, so first thing I want to do and get it out of the way is talk about paper. A while back, I invested in a variety of papers, okay? Because people always ask me, what do you print on? You know, do you have paper recommendations? And the answer before was always, no, I don't have any. I don't have any paper recommendations, but I thought I should maybe work on that. So the first part of this video, just real quick here, I'm gonna try to make it fast. We're just gonna talk about paper. We're paper crafters, so I know this won't be boring. I'm not even worried about it. All right. I printed a little this morning too, so that you could just see the papers, because when I got the email, I've gotten a lot of comments before, and when I got the email, it's like, okay, yeah, I have to address this, but I want to do it on camera because it's hard to show otherwise. Okay, so I printed some things and I am going to make a journal. I woke up this morning and I had all of these ideas in my head for journals, and I realized I needed another one. So I'm going to make one real quick. Hey there, Debbie. Good morning. Watching from the treadmill. Look at you go. I will, because I want to know when you're coming to town. Okay, I've got a few papers here, so let's talk about them. I've got this, first of all, number one, when I was buying paper, I didn't buy anything that wasn't double-sided, made for double-sided printing, okay? Because in the past, I had bought paper, like photo paper, but it was single-sided. And then I can never figure out the side, and inevitably I'd always print on the wrong side and get the dull print instead of the crisp print. When you're thinking about, oh, maybe I'll get a printer and do printables because Biddy Penny made me do it, and I'm so sorry. The printer is actually less important than the paper. The paper is kind of most important. Now, here's what I'll tell you. The most important thing for me about a printer is that I can refill the ink myself, okay? So I have a Canon, and I can refill my own ink, which makes it crazy affordable. This box right here of ink is about $30 and it lasts me, and I print all the time. Y'all know that. I print probably 3 days a week, at least 10 pages. So let's say I print 30 pages a week over the course of 52 weeks, and this box will last me 1 year. Easy, maybe longer, maybe 18 months. It comes with the 3 colors. So see, the last time I filled it up a couple of times and I still have, you know, ink left over. You're gonna find that you use some colors more than others. This blue I haven't even opened yet, for example. You can buy these individually. So for me, sometimes I might just buy the yellow because I actually go through that quicker than the other colors, and that's probably because of all the vintage kind of grunge and junk journal stuff that I do. But this is for the Canon Mega Tank. There's also an Epson Eco Tank that you hear everyone talk about, but I have the Canon version, okay? So these cost me about $35 a year for ink. That is so cheap. When I used to have a printer that took the cartridges that are already pre-filled with ink, I would spend $35 a month, okay? So, I mean, it all depends on the printer, and I'm no expert. Everything I'm going to tell you today is just based on my own experience, the resources that I have, and what I use. Hey, Kimmy girl. Hey, Shannon. Hi, ladies. Hi, Susan. Hey there, Paula and Ramona. Ramona, I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing well. Okay, so that to me is the most important thing about a printer, is that I can refill the ink inexpensively. Okay, so that's number one about the printer. Now the paper is different. I'm actually grown particular about my paper. For one, it has to be double-sided because I don't want to have to worry about which side of the paper I can print on. Plus, if you get single-sided and you want to print on both sides, one side's going to be far inferior to the other, and you don't want that. I mean, you want crisp, beautiful images on both sides. So, number one, double-sided paper. Number two, you have to think about your paper weights, and it's good to have a variety. So this is one I tried recently. I've actually used all of it. It's all gone. So it's not terrible. And it says it's 48 pound. It's really not. It's really about 28 pounds. It's a low GSM. It's a low gram weight, which is fine because you need a variety. You need some papers that are thin and some that are thicker, right? Because some pages you want to print journal pages on. These are supposed to be journal pages, but I turn them into cards. So some you want to print lightweight journal pages on, and then others you want to print like ephemera. This is a thicker, more thick card, so this is what I print like ephemera and things on. Okay, cut aparts, the things that you want thick paper for. Okay, so you want a variety first of all, and you want double-sided. So you want a lightweight. This one was okay. Some Epson papers are more inexpensive than others. I'm not quick to reorder this. I haven't reordered this one. I'm going to shop around before I reorder this one. I want to play around a little bit more, but this was not bad. I think I can maybe do better, but again, it has to be double-sided, whatever I pick. This is the presentation paper matte, okay? So this is a nice page weight for journal pages. Okay. We've talked about Epson. All right, let's look at some of these others. These others I had never heard of, to be honest, but they fit the criteria that I was looking for. Okay, so I think this one was printed from here, but they're virtually the same. Okay, let's look at this one real quick. This is Koala. I really like this paper a whole lot. It's double-sided. It's matte photo paper. It's 48 pounds. I wish I had a sheet of that old Epson. Hold on. I don't want to be unfair and not have the actual paper, like, know for sure that I printed on it. But it said it was 48 pounds, and there's no way. It also said it was 179 GSM. This one says it's 180. This one is far thicker. So you really, I don't know why. It's like, and all of the ladies here can shout it from the rooftops, but it's like our clothing. They say size 10. They don't, but every size 10 is different, right? It's not universal like men's clothing where it's like, this thing is 32 inches by 34 inches. And you know, it's going to fit, but not for us. Oh, no, no. We could not have it that simple. Our hormones change about 10 times a month, and men's never change. And then we've got to deal with complicated clothing sizes. Well, paper's kind of the same. Then we get into paper crafting, and now we have to deal with the same thing, figuring out our paper weights. So even though these said they were the same like weight and GSM, they're really not. This one is much thicker than the Epson. This I really would consider like a 48. It's actually, I think it's comparable to the weight of Hobby Lobby paper or Michael's paper. Let me get a sheet of that out. I actually think it has a, yeah, it's basically the same. It has about the same weight. Okay, so this one I love. It's double-sided and it has a nice thickness that's great for like ephemera. And the thing is look at these prints. I mean, they're absolutely gorgeous. Now, of course, these are supposed to be vintage, so it's not, these are vintage images, but still, I thought these pages really exemplified the beauty of the color. Red's always hard on camera, but they're just absolutely gorgeous. So I am a big fan of the Koala double-sided matte photo paper, 48 pounds. Big fan of that. Okay, so there's that one. That one I will definitely reorder. Okay, here's another. These two I basically think are about the same, but I think this was a better deal. Okay, and we like deals, all right? Because we don't want to spend all of our money on paper. We want to spend it on other things. Gladys, how are you? I know. It gets so frustrating trying to find the right fit, doesn't it? Okay, I printed these on one of these papers. I can't remember which one I pulled from, to be honest, but again, they're basically the same thing. So this is Unikit and Transfer Master. They're both 32 pounds. Well, this one says it's 38, but they're essentially a lot alike. This one doesn't even have the GSM listed on the front. Let's see if they have it on the back. And sorry, y'all have to just deal with the sound of crinkling plastic because that's how these are packaged. Nowhere on here do I see a GSM. That's fine because it's not, it's not universal, so who cares? They're basically the same, and these are both double-sided photo matte paper. They're just thinner, so they're like page weight to me. I like a heavier page sometimes because and a good paper that won't have a lot of bleed through. Okay, there are other paper brands out there. I've really been wanting to try the Gear and Pen, which is a Walmart brand, or it's a brand that's sold at Walmart. I don't know if it's sold anywhere else. But I've been wanting to try it because I hear a lot of good things about it. There's another junk journaler here on YouTube that uses it. It's Heather. And I can't remember her channel. Gosh, I haven't watched her channel in a while. I need to go check in with her. But it's like Paper Cottage or something. Anyways, she loves it. And so I want to try the pen and gear. Maybe y'all have tried it. Hey, Laura. So yeah, that's a little bit, that's what I know about paper, which isn't a lot, obviously. I haven't found like the holy grail of paper yet, but I will tell you that, you know, that's what I can tell you about paper and printing, basically. Okay, I just realized what I've done, but that's okay. All right, so moving on to the journal. I want to make a tall document journal that's like a listing journal, and I want it to be my prayer journal. So I need a new prayer journal, and I want a tall document, thin sized journal. Now, I've been really reluctant to make anything like faith or prayer based here lately, just because of some comments that I've gotten recently on another like prayer pocket video that I shared a couple of years ago. And a lot of people really liked it, but man, there were some not so nice comments on that video. And I know that that's how it is sometimes on YouTube with faith-based stuff, which blows my mind because I kind of feel like those should be some of the nicest people, and it's not what I find all the time. Anyways, so here's what I'll say about that. I'm not the one to follow if you're looking for faith stuff. That's not, I just share my journey here. I make things for me and I share it with y'all. I don't make things for you. What I mean by that is I make what makes me happy. And if you don't like it, I'm so sorry. But I'm just sharing what I'm making. And I'm sharing my journal, or, you know, journal making, card making. I'm sharing when I come into my craft room, it's my craft room. It's my camera that I record, and it's my channel. So I share my experience. I don't come here to sell things. I'm not here to broaden your faith. Like, one of these people, I was like, oh my gosh, you need to put down your phone and go pick up your Bible, lady, because you're missing all of it. You know, and like, I don't want to feel that way. I responded to her in the way that, in the most pleasant way that I could, but also in a way that holds her accountable. Like, it was just some really rude stuff. So it really made me go, okay, do I want to share anything else? And it's like, well, this is my journey. And yeah. So anyways, I just wanted to get that out of the way. Like, if you don't like what I make, move on. You're not paying for this. This is not like a service you have to pay for. And I don't want negativity here. And if you don't think that my crafting fits your faith, that's fine. I'm not here for that. I'm not a preacher. I'm not any of that stuff. I'm just a girl. Okay. So if you don't like my project, you don't need to leave me a nasty comment. You can just carry on, my friend. Go do something else. Don't hang out here with me. I don't want to hear it. Okay. For everybody else, let's get on with it, because I think the rest of you know exactly what I'm here for, because you've been hanging out with me long enough to know that this is just what we do around here. Look, y'all, I'm a real person, and I think one of the things we're missing in our society is accountability. So I think people who leave nasty comments need to be held accountable. because real people read them. And I don't think it's good enough to just delete the comment. I actually think that I need to respond in a way that holds them accountable. It's okay, like, not everyone's gonna like what I do. And maybe you like some of the things that I do and not the others. And I totally respect that. 100% I respect that I'm gonna make things that aren't for everyone. I'm gonna make some things you like, some things you don't like, some things you connect with, some things you're like, what was she thinking? And that means we're in sync, because sometimes I'm thinking, what was I thinking? So, it's just not for everyone. And you can't win every time, which I show y'all like my fails and, because you just can't always get it right. And you can't always, I can't expect people to like 100% of the things I do. And I don't ever expect that. But to come to my channel for the first time and blast me with negativity, that is something different. That is something that needs accountability. So I put her in check. And then I deleted both of our comments because I was like, man, I don't want other people to see this and be like, she's hardcore. But I think I am a little hardcore. I grew up in a time period where society held me accountable. Like, my neighbors held me accountable, my teachers, everybody. If I messed up, my mom was the city secretary, and they'd be like, Toby, I know who your mom is. I'm going to call her and tell her what I saw you do. And I knew they were going to call my mom and that she would know what I did before I even got a chance to tell her what I did. So, I think I just don't have a problem letting people know, like, you've crossed the line. This is not the way you're supposed to speak to people. You can move on now. And now we will move on. So all this prettiness on my desk is faith-based, okay? And I'm going to make myself a prayer journal today. And it may not be the kind of prayer journal that you like, but it's what I want and what I need, because I know how I journal. I journal different ways, and that's why I have junk journals, because different junk journals do different things for me. So, like, I have my art inspiration journal. Make your art, break the rules. You see her? Yeah, she doesn't take nasty comments very well. That's me. She will set you straight, okay? Otherwise, I'm very nice. I'm just a little spicy sometimes. But yeah, this is my play journal. This is where I created this one in February, and this is just where I play and I record ideas. Like, I have a stamp and spin idea that I want to do. I have all these new ideas, new journal themes, new ideas, and I put my new ideas in this journal. So that's what this one's all about, is creating art ideas. Okay, so different journals do different things. I have one for my family, where I record our memories and our things that we do. And then I have just different ones. So I need a prayer one. And I'm a lister, so I've already figured out I would try to do like the planner girl stuff, years and years and years ago. I bought like an Erin Condren, I bought a Happy Planner, I bought all these planners. I would use them for like a month, honestly, or two at the most, and then totally throw it out the window. And what I figured out from that process, though, was really valuable, because I was able to figure out that I'm a lister. So I love to make a list. A lot of times it ends up on Post-it notes. I have a whole heap of those over here. And I like to make a list and check things off. I'm a lister. Okay. I'm going through the Bible this year. I'm trying to make it through. I'm not going to make it. But I was trying to do the Bible in a year, but I was in Chronicles, And by the way, if you want to follow along, I'm following along with Konoi over at Heart Dive. I've shared her with y'all before. She has a YouTube channel. Just look up Heart Dive and you will find her. Anyways, reading through Chronicles and different places in the Bible, everyone was named. You know, when you think about the lineage, when you think about Numbers, the book of Numbers, and you think about all the lineage and how important it was to name people. Well, here on my channel, I pray for a lot of y'all. A lot of y'all send me like, hey, will you pray? Like, I'm praying for Rhonda right now, and I pray for different people here on my channel. I'm always praying for my friend Noreen. I've been praying for Cheryl and her husband, and just different people, right? So y'all send me things, y'all maybe make comments. I was sending Shay prayers the other day, and sometimes because, we're crafty friends through the internet, I just put it out there. I say a prayer. So here's the kind of journal I want to make. I want to make a journal that is for listing people's names, and I'm just going to put a scripture with each page is the idea that I have. So I think because sometimes we may not know, we know like family or friends or someone in our church is going through a hard time, and we don't really know the words sometimes. I think that's how I feel anyways. So I think the best thing for me in those times is to put scripture on it. So I'm going to make a list, and basically when that page is filled, I'm going to turn the page, make another list, and kind of chronicle the people that I'm praying for with scripture. And so that's the kind of prayer journal I'm going to make for myself, because I know who I am. I know how I journal. And I think that this is exactly what will work for me. So like I said, it might not work for everyone. It might not be what they do or what they want. And you may not be a Christian, and that's fine too. You can still, you could make a faith journal, or you could make a quote journal like this. You could do whatever you want, okay? You might just, whatever I make, you might get ideas for how, and apply it for how you journal. These are from a new junk journal shop. Well, she's not new. She's new to me. It's Jesus Junk Journals, and you can find her on Etsy, and she has a YouTube channel. When I come back and finish this, I will, in the description, I will leave links. But I thought these were pretty. I wanted to show you the papers that I printed on, so I printed these up, and I thought I might end up using them. Let's just get started making the journal. So I want a tall document style journal. Hey, Jessica. Hi, Valerie. Hey, Angela. How are y'all doing? Let me check in with y'all. Yeah, look, in all of 2023, I got one negative comment in a whole year. I have a video that's kind of like popped off. I won't say it's viral, but it's been doing very well. And it's brought in a lot of new people, which I'm really grateful for, because I want more friends to hang out with here. But I've gotten 5 nasty comments just on that one video in the last month or two. And I'm like, wow, that's different. So it's all good. It's all fine. And just because someone shares their opinion doesn't mean I call it nasty. Because like I said, not everything I make is for everyone. So if someone just shares like a critique, I don't really, or, something like that doesn't bother me. Like I was on a debate team. We can all have opinions here. I hope we do. But I have learned, and I teach my children, that just because you have an opinion doesn't mean you have to share it. Or to think about when you are going to share it and how you're going to share it. because we can be opinionated and still kind, right? All right, let's get into this. I have tea dyed paper, lots of it. Sometimes I tea dye with pigments like Brusho, and I get these really cool effects and these really cool pages. Ooh, it does marble sometimes, or you can make it marble, which I love that. I was gonna share with y'all this journal. I decided I wouldn't do printables, but let me tell you, I really want to. We'll see. I might end up pulling in some. I might not be able to help myself, but yeah. I got this tea dye paper out, but where is the other one? Oh, there it is. I also got this paper out. I'm going to tell you about this paper, and then I'm going to tell you that it's too expensive now, at least in my opinion. Okay, this is a Hammermill Colors. This is a recycled paper, which I really like. It's 20 pounds. It's called, the color is tan. Okay, that's what's important. It's 8.5 by 11. You get 500 sheets. I used to get this for $6 before inflation. This paper is like $20 or $30 a ream, which I think is too much. Okay, but it used to be a paper that I would recommend to people who don't want to tea dye, because I think it gives you a nice option if you don't tea dye. I like the color. And so I used to recommend this, but I went this morning to see, one, if I could find it on Amazon and how much it was going for. And when I saw it was going for like $30 for what I used to pay $6 for in 2020, no, it's not worth it in my opinion, but I am showing it to you. I did find it, then I got off Amazon and I shopped around and I could find it for maybe $20 somewhere else. At Staples might have it a little bit cheaper. I will just tell you, buy cheap paper, pour your coffee and tea on it, and it's going to be so much better, y'all. So that's me making a case for tea dye paper. Plus, you can get some really interesting results with, you know, with your coffee and tea that you're not going to get on that tan paper. But yeah, I used to recommend that paper until now. Now, I know we all have different budgets. It's just, if I used to pay $6 for it, why is it $30 now? I'm just saying. Just saying. Okay. Some of my papers are blue. Let's see. I'm trying to find my thinner paper, my copy weight paper for my pages. We'll put some of those in there. I had a really awesome time tea dyeing yesterday. Not tea dyeing, gel printing. I made like 50 sheets. And Mariah, hi. I watched you and Patricia yesterday afternoon when I was getting ready for the party at our house. It was a very busy time, but oh my goodness, I loved what Patricia worked with. I loved that stencil with the grid and the leaves and her prints. Like, she's so patient. If y'all want the right kind of jelly printing, you have to go watch Patricia do it, or Devin and Yolanda at Devin Rex for Art. But I just do a quick version. All right, so I grabbed some papers here, and I can't help myself. I think I'm gonna have to use some printables. But we'll see. Let me grab some other papers first, and then we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I can stick to no printables. I'm looking for my Maggie Holmes. Yes, this one screams spring and summer. The Woodland Grove. So pretty. I think I just used this one to finish up that. I finished up that journal for my friend and sent it off. Oh, I definitely want this page. These are single-sided too, which I really wanted. Miss Dawn, how are you? Sorry, you guys. I mean, I'm sorry for all of my regulars about hearing my rant earlier, but you know what? Sometimes we just have to address things and then move on. So I've moved on. I feel like I should have saved that for a regular edited video. Ooh, look at this one. Okay, I am going to put, ooh, it's Maggie Holmes. I love it all. Oh, I love grid. I'm such a sucker for grid paper. Oh, that's pretty. Did y'all know I'm allergic to oranges? I don't think I ever told y'all that. Oranges, of all things. That is my one food allergy. Oh my goodness. Okay, sorry, it's hard to pick. Oh, when there's so many great papers. And I keep going back and forth on, I want this one. On what style I want to make. Okay, but I do think I want a tall document style. I'm also going to have to find, let's see, this board here that I'm peeling the glue off of was the Canson XL board. I think it's going to be perfect for my two covers. I'll have to build my spine out of something else. That might actually be thick enough. Okay, I think we can make this work. I think I'll be able to cut this board down for my cover. And then we'll have tea-dye paper and patterned paper. So let's go ahead and cut the patterned paper down. Whoops. How you doing, Rebecca? I hope you're doing well. Okay, so let's see. I don't know. I just pulled as many as I wanted. I wasn't even counting. Looks like I got 7. No, I can math. I got 6. Cool. Maybe we'll make it 2 signatures. Seems like the right thing to do. I'm pretty sure my paper trimmer can handle 2 sheets at once, so let me do that. Yeah, I have a couple of gel printing videos for you guys, and I recorded them because I'm going to be out of town. I'm going to be up in the DFW area for a conference next week. So I have a couple of long form videos, short form videos. Look at these scraps. Yeah. All right, I am going to go ahead and score these. So I've got it cut to 8.5. Oh, whoops. I cut it to 8.5. Oh, well, we'll make it work. But I need to score at like, let's do 4 1/4. And then 8.5. Okay. So basically, instead of cutting this paper off, we can have a built-in pocket. We'll do the same thing for this one. Yeah, I will not be live next week, June 3rd through the 7th or 8th, I will not be live on YouTube. I'm going to be in Irving. I had to look up where you guys are because I had never heard of your city before, but you actually live close to my brother who lives in Royce. He used to live in Rockwall. And I'm like, I wonder if they know each other. Okay, like, I know. It's still big. There's too many people. I know, but like, you know, stranger things have happened. Stranger things have happened than that. Oh gosh, I love this marble paper. And yes, it's torn, but don't worry. That's why I make this glorious tape like this. You can actually use it to tape things together. Who knew? It's not just for decoration. It functions as tape. Oh my goodness, I never thought of using packing tape on my gel plate until I saw Patricia doing it yesterday, and she was pulling the coolest pieces of tape off. I've been working with transparencies in my work as of late, and so I was like, oh my gosh, I just want to make some of that tape for my work, for, you know, for transparency purposes. Oh, and Mariah, I could totally relate to like scraps being so good it's hard to part with them. Yes, 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 yes. I didn't catch all live. I caught you in the replay. I'm trying to decide if I want my document journal to be this tall. I guess I do, which means I need to cut this paper down. I'm going to cut it to 9 because it doesn't have, y'all know I like different weights or heights of my paper anyway. So I'm going to cut this one to 9. Okay. Then I'm going to turn it. I'm going to score it. Let's see, where am I going to score it? Can y'all see that? Okay, just making sure. 4 1/4. Let's do it there. Yeah, I'm having to do it this way because I'm not mathing right now. I just wanted my pockets to be on this opposite side for these. This one wouldn't matter because it's non-directional, but the other one does. Okay, so basically all I've done is now cut my papers at different heights, because I was on autopilot and cut this at 8.5. That's usually the height of my journals, is 8.5. But then now I cut one at 9, and the next 2 sheets, and my pockets are going different ways now, or my flips. So that's a good thing. Okay, and I'm gonna do the last 2 sheets, and I'm gonna cut these at, let's do 10 3/4. Okay. Yeah, directional definitely matters with these. Of these don't have to have pockets. So let's cut this to 8.5. Okay. Lovely scraps that make me so happy. Okay. Oh, gosh, that just reminded me I was dreaming about peacocks last night. That's happening a lot here lately, isn't it? I come in and do a live in the morning and I do something that reminds me of my dream. Oh, which also takes me to the next journal I'm going to make, you guys. I woke up this morning and I had a million ideas, creative ideas. This was one of them, the journal I'm making with you now. But there's another one I want to make that I dreamt up this morning, but it makes me wonder, how much our dreams influence our work. Because for the last couple of weeks, it's like I'm coming here and start crafting at 5 a.m. and I realize, oh yeah, I was dreaming about something last night, and it ties in somehow. All right. So I've got 6 sheets. I'm going to do 2 signatures. It's decided. And we're going to put this paper in. Let's see how many. I didn't count these either. 1, perfectly 10. That's fabulous. Okay. So for 5, let's see, these are all like tea-dye. Let's trade 2 of these out like that. I want a little bit of the artsy tea-dye, that's what we're gonna call that, and regular tea-dye in each signature, so that evens it out nicely. Okay, let's fold this stuff up. I am folding it vertically on the long edge. So these are 4 1/4 by 11-inch pages. These are going to be perfect for listing. You know, I'm just listing people's names. Here's what I was thinking that's interesting about prayer journal is that I can physically see where my heart is at. You know? And again, like I said, this doesn't have to just be for a Christian. Like, I think if you're making a prayer journal, it just shows you where your heart's at. And I want to be able to see that because I know I have places I can make corrections. I can be corrected. I can do better, get better. Okay, I want this peachy paper with this peachy tape that I put up there. So these 2 are going to be friends right next to each other. I think I need another type of paper in here. I most certainly do. I want some book pages. Yeah, gotta grab some book pages, y'all. Let's see. Don't mind me. Let's look in this human curiosity box. There's definitely book pages in here. Let's just grab, this is her 50 pack of vintage book pages. And I want these taller ones. Let's just see, and then I'll go through there. I haven't actually looked in here at all, so I don't know what's in here. I like index, and that really goes well with like listing. I don't need any math. I'm not trying to torture myself. Okay, and then, yeah, absolutely, some music pages. Oh, cool, 2 of those. Perfect. 2 of those. Perfect. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Oh boy. Wringing the dirt from the spirit. I'll put that in there. Ew. I think we're good. I don't want that one. I don't want the treatment for syphilis in my prayer journal. I'm good on that. Ooh, but these are nice. These are probably brittle pages. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how to make them work. Oh, I like this page. Yeah, that one will work. Okay, we're good. Okay. Alrighty, so here we go. Let's add these pages too. I'm just gonna fold them vertically. Now, some old book pages, this one's even on the verge of being too brittle. It's not, but it's close. It's close enough that I'm gonna run a piece of washi tape down it. Some old book pages don't want to be bent. But this will just kind of help reinforce it. And it'll hold better. This one, I doubt wants to be bent at all. It's doing okay. It's super thick. And it's starting to crack. Yeah. It's good for you to see this. So let's reinforce that with tape too. And I'm going to glue another page to it. That way I have more to work with here. So I'm going to turn it over and see that crease. I'm just going to glue on this side of it, and it's probably going to show my glue. There is a certain level of difficulty sometimes working, I don't know if difficulty is the right word, working with vintage pages, because like the glue shows really weird through some paper. It's doing okay on this one actually. There's just some level of difficulty sometimes, like the pages cracking, but you can work through it. So now see, I can hinge this one into the journal. Now obviously though, it's a little wide. Let me move all this out of the way. See, it's a little wide. So I am going to lose a little bit of this because it's not going to want to bend. So let me pop it in here real quick, like this, and there. Now, all my pages don't have to be the same width necessarily. Like, I don't have to trim it all the way off and flush. I can leave a little peekaboo sticking out. But there, now I was able to take that vintage book page and put it in my journal upright like that. Let's put this one in here. Have we already been here an hour? Okay, and then I really want this page in here. This is the index page. This one's gonna fold fine. That's the thing, once you start working with vintage pages like this, you'll get a feeling for, you can tell a lot just from the texture of the paper. I really like the idea. Oh wow, look what's on the back side. I'm sorry. He is really enjoying that Coca-Cola though. And she's like, yeah, I had one yesterday. I'm good. I don't think I can put them in here. I'm gonna have to put that one to the side. I'm just gonna leave it like this. Okay, so one signature done. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. I love those papers too, Susan. Aren't they amazing? Here, let's do this. Let's trim this down. Let's see. I'm going to trim this here. I'm going to grab another scrap. Gosh, I love this paper so much. Maybe I should have left that on. It's okay. Everything's fine. It's okay. Just trying to decide how I want to hinge this one in the book. You know what I might do? I think I'm going to tape hinge this one. Y'all need variety, don't you? With these book pages, figuring out these book pages. Okay. So I'm going to tape hinge that one. This loose one here. This one I'm just going to fold because it'll be fine. It's kind of pretty on all counts. I could hinge this one too though. Let's see. We may just do a couple of tape hinges on this signature. Let's get our other paper folded up here. Yeah, bookmark. We should definitely make a bookmark. I've got a bookmark sitting over here. She's not in a book currently. Y'all seen these before. This one. Both arts and crafts come before housework in the dictionary, as it should be. I'm not cleaning today, honey. I'm crafting. Okay. Yeah. But we could definitely make a bookmark. Okay. Paper folded. Assembly happening. Here we go. This is going to be the first page. Let's change things up. Let's put the index towards the front on this one. Because we can. Okay. Let's do this. Let's do music next. And pop in a little bit of this. A little bit of that. Okay, hinge time. Let's hinge this one right here. Happen to have more tape on hand. Ready to go. Wow, this one's bold. I'm almost out of this tape. This is my last sheet. I'll have to make more. Ooh, I like that bold color. Yeah, so this page right here, you just have to be careful. Like, so this page, I wanted it to still fold out because I wanted to be able to read that little poem about the birds. So see, it'll just hinge out like this. But when you're sewing your signature, just make sure you don't accidentally sew it in. So I'm going to fold it that way. Got that old book page hinged in there. Now we need to hinge this one. Oh, I'm going to lose more of that picture. Let's trim this down some more. And let's hinge it on this side since we have the birds on that other side. And I think I'm going to have to cut into this image just a little bit. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just hinge it up here at the top. It could be like that. Could even make it a tuck spot. I think I like the idea of it being a tuck spot even more. Okay, this is a nice thick paper, but I'm still going to back it just because it's going to be a pocket. I use like all of my scrap paper yesterday. Okay, not all, but my junky scrap paper I jelly printed on yesterday. So look, like this. Like, you know, we all have cutoffs. And so that's what I mean by junky scrap paper. Like I just cut off like little edges of it, but I ended up using all that for gel printing. Okay, so now I got this Hobby Lobby paper, which will be fine. I'm just reinforcing it with a less brittle paper back here. Oh, thanks, Rebecca. I try. Hey, Stamp Girl, how's it going? Alrighty. Just gonna glue that on. Oh, whoop, wrong side. Is that the second time I've done that? Yeah, I did it yesterday too. Catching myself before it's too late. Just rub a little of that glue off. It'll be fine. If I pick up one of these Hobby Lobby sheets, I actually bring it home and put it in my craft room because it feels wasteful otherwise. And look, you can just use it. You can use it somehow. I have it over in my embossing area. So I have a certain area for paper that I emboss on top of, heat emboss. So I usually just heat emboss on them, but that time we were able to use it for a pocket. Now that part's going to show that white. So why don't we just go ahead and address it by ink blending on it or something. Okay, could do that. What color do we want? Let's just do this color. Dirty purple. Okay, don't need to do the whole thing. It's a pocket. I just want to do the edge that was going to show on the other side of the sheet. And again, I like the little peekaboo moment that's happening. Whoops. Just gluing on 3 sides. Ooh, I just thought of another idea. I don't know how many of y'all like get caught thinking too much about the future, and then it's like nerve-wracking, causes anxiety inducing. Happens to me. But it would be kind of cool to make one of these journals and list about like present, like moments if I'm staying present in the moment, and unload or dump the thoughts that you're having that are like future based, causing you anxiety. I mean, this is a journal. Again, I make things for me. Like that's a journal I could use, but just spitballing ideas for y'all. Maybe again, the prayer one isn't connecting with you, but maybe something like that. So y'all have plans today? What are y'all up to today? Our big party was last night. Hubby's working and I'm working. Now, I'm supposed to be off, so I'm working on my own schedule, but I will be working today. We had our party last night. Okay, So I just couldn't help myself. I had to tip in that page. And I won't worry about this because I can always add more as I go. But I think our signatures are done. And I really like them. I really like how this journal is coming together. No printables. No printer needed for this one. I wanted to do something for all my people who just have a ton of paper, and you know, these could be gel prints. This could be anything you want. We've just got a few random, very random old book pages, patterned paper, and tea dyed paper. Now I've got this Canson XL cardboard, and I am going to cut this down for the cover. Let me grab this cutting mat. I think it's wide enough. Yeah, it's wide enough. It's not long enough. Okay. I need to cut this down to where I'm gonna have to cut down the height, and then, well, I'm gonna choose to cut the height first, and then I'll cut the width, and that way it's just fewer cuts. Oh, you know what? I don't know where my razor blade is. Oh, snap. I saw it somewhere it didn't belong. What's up with this one? Does this one work? I think we're in business. I don't know where my big one is. Okay. So, let me measure this. These are 11. So I only need to cut like an inch off of this. I'm using this mat right here to measure, by the way. I'm just making sure that it's up on the line here. I'm going to mark an inch. I'm going to make it a little taller, not much, just a little bit taller. And then I'm going to slide it down here. I'm going to do the same thing. Just going to mark it up there. Hopefully y'all can see what I'm doing. There we go. So yeah, basically this is just like kind of narrow, but it's going to work. Now I can take my ruler and connect those 2 points and have a straight line. There we go. So it's going to take a few slices, but that's okay. It's better to go lightly and go a number of times than try to put a lot of pressure. I think we got it. Not quite. This is super thick board, by the way. So this is the back of a Canson XL watercolor paper pad that I used all the paper. I do save the backs of my paper pads for projects like this. I'm going to bring my scissors in. Just finish the job with those. Kim, how you doing? I saw Kim was here. Yeah, just a journal for thoughts. It's nice, like, you know, you could do positive, negative. Although I did that one time. I did a positive, negative thing one time, and I just hated the negative so much that I decided I would never put negative thoughts in my journal again. But But I do like the idea of being present, a sheet for being present and a sheet for, you know, thoughts that don't feel like they're, you know, they're not about the present. I think I could handle that. All right, these need to be, so this is 9. I kind of want to just split it right down the middle, and I think that's probably the best thing to do. So I'm going to measure this at 4.5. I can do math. 4.5. Move it down. I kind of like this because I feel like I can line it up better than I can on my glass mat. So I'm going to go 4.5. And then 4.5. Take your time when you're making sorry, I was having to make sure I was on the half mark. Take your time when you're, you know, making your journal covers. It's time well spent. You're investing in your foundation. It's just a good thing to do, really and truly. So I encourage you. That doesn't look right to me, but I think it's because of the cutting edge. I just want to measure it one more time. I'm going to go 4.5. Okay. Yeah, no, it's right. It's right. Okay. Just had to make sure. Double check, triple check. Measure twice, cut once. That's the saying that I think woodworkers use. Measure twice, cut once. Otherwise, you might have to cut twice if you don't really check your measurements. Basically, all I did was make sure that I had measured and marked the top and the bottom, and then I could put my ruler along it to do the slicing. I am telling y'all, this is very heavyweight chipboard. Got it. Just going to finish off this top edge. Now, obviously, I'm going to have to create a spine for this, but this is our front and back board of our journal now. Okay. So, front and back. Yeah, Paula, I have beginner journals making videos on my channel. I mean, just you can start literally with a school folder, or, you know, like a notebook folder or a file folder. You definitely, this is more advanced. I think a more advanced approach, but you can make a junk journal. Look, this one is a folder, you know, like a mailing folder that I folded in half and I covered it with paper. Really simple, but these last a long time and really hold up well. Let me show you my old one that's all full. That was the exact same thing. I just put my masterboard or Franken paper as the cover, but see, this one has been loved. Look how the spine expanded on it. It's completely full. I even made myself a pin loop by gluing elastic on, and I have a little pin attached, which I found to be really handy. but they hold up well. I used this journal I just finished it in February, and I started it in January of 2022. So yeah, lasted years. So, you know, it doesn't have to be complicated by any means to be fabulous. I actually usually make really simple junk journals. Oh, cool. Here's another chipboard that's the same weight. Oh, but it's not the right height. So that will not do. I did cut off a part, this part, not the right height. That will not do. Let's see. So now I'm looking through my chipboard. And here's the conundrum. I don't think that I have another piece of chipboard this weight. So we're going to do something totally different. I mean, I'm going to use these, but we're going to do a different spine. We're going to do a fabric spine on this, okay? Because I don't think I have another piece of chipboard to make this like a hardcover book with a hard spine. So let's cover these real quick, and then I'll show you how we can make a fabric spine for it. So let's do that. I just need to think about exactly how I want to do it, and how I want to cover the pages. I'm looking for my paper pad that I had. Let me see. I'm just flipping through my paper pads real quick. Here's another one of my favorites that I kind of hoard a little because I don't think I'll ever find it again. It's called Wildflower. It's an old one, an oldie but goodie. And I just love it. Let's see if it has some paper that I would want on the covers. Or maybe even just on the inside. I think I like, of course I like that one, but it's either this yellow one or this kind of, I don't know if this is iCat. I'm not sure what that's called. Yeah, I could, but I think we'll just do a soft cover. I think it'll be kind of fun and different. But you're right. You could definitely just, you know, use a couple of chipboards and glue them together. I also really like, ooh, I think I'm going to use this one. You're totally right, Valerie. Like, it could glue a couple of pieces and weight them together. I'm gonna do this though. I like this paper. Okay. I like a fabric spine, and I don't ever make them. Okay, now I have to decide how I want to do this. I think don't mind me as I contemplate my decisions here a little bit. I'm gonna just cut this up the middle. This is what happens when you're crafting on the fly. Okay, Now, let me turn this. I know you're not getting the whole thing unless I turn it like this. So now I'm going to take this. I'm going to trim off the perforated branding part. I'm going to keep that, maybe. Okay, let's see. Now, I'm going to fold this over like so on all four sides. And I believe this is going to be the cover. This paper that I just picked is going to be the cover. I'm going to leave the inside without a cover for now because of the fabric. I'm just grabbing some double-sided adhesive for a little extra hold and grip. I'm going to use this mainly for the pieces that fold over, but I'll put a little on this side too. And then my bookbinding glue. I don't know where my big one is. It's not any bigger, but it has a bigger nozzle. I don't know where that is right now. Now, double-sided tape is brilliant for this portion because you don't have to wait on your glue to dry. I do need to miter the corners. Okay. Pull off all the release tape. Hey, Cordelia. Cordelia, I found your Happy Mail the other day that I've been making a pile for you. I'm going to finish it up and get it out to you. I haven't forgotten about you. I haven't been good. I did get the journal out. I got the journal and the blanket sent. Finally, my mom, who made the blanket custom for me, for my friend, she came over and she's like, "You haven't mailed that yet?" I'm like, "No, I haven't finished journal yet." I am the snail in snail mail. It is me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Okay. Now, we have a beautiful cover. Oh, I love it. That makes me happy. That is the cover to our journal, one side anyways. Let's do the same thing to this side. So I'm going to cut off the branding strip. Throwing all that away, even the branding strip. I'm not worrying about measuring. I mean, when you eyeball it, it comes out fine. And we're eventually going to put paper over this, obviously. So for the end paper on the inside. But that is that. Let's do the same thing over here. Just eyeball it. You just want it pretty much even on all the sides. Fold it up. You got to train your paper. Plus, when you fold it like this, you can see where you want to miter the corners. Oh, I am the worst. Nobody can have that title when it comes to snail mail. I used to be good about it, but I have fallen so far off. I still have Galentine cards here. I found all of that. Yeah. It's like, oh my gosh, I haven't even sent those yet. What's the problem is out of sight, out of mind. That's a big part of the problem. But I'm going to get better. I'm thinking about selling a bunch of stamps and journals, all my craft fair stuff that I spent a whole year making stuff for a craft fair, and then I didn't do a craft fair. So I'm thinking about selling all of that stuff. But first, before I do any of that, I got to get my Happy Mail out. Okay, so I'm just, I don't know. I don't necessarily need to cover the whole thing with double-sided tape. Just get a little on there and then use my bookbinding glue. This PVA Lineco glue is a professional bookbinding glue. It's made for this. Ooh, I just thought of another cool way we could bind this. Ooh, I think we might. Okay, I don't know, fabric, or I have a bookbinding tape. That's also, I think it's Lineco, and it's also a professional grade material. So we may use that even. I don't know. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Probably fabric. Now, I do love the double-sided tape for the edges. You guys, my precious son, Young Z, might come craft with us again. He said to celebrate my 10,000 subscribers that he would do another card video with us, which made my heart so happy. I would absolutely love to have my son in here at the table again. He made some Harry Potter cards before, and he did a voiceover for me before, but it's been years ago. And yeah, so his voice has changed so much. Oh my gosh. He's just grown up so much. But the fact that he would come and craft with me again and make a video with me just makes my heart so happy. So I need to hold him to it. Get him in here. Maybe if I clean the craft room a little more, he'll come in. I have been doing better, but there's always a pile somewhere. My husband poked his head in yesterday when I was doing all the gel printing, and I had just dropped a piece of paper, painted paper, face down on my mat that's underneath my table. And he comes in and he goes, "Did you lose something?" Because I was looking down. I was like, no, I just dropped a piece of painted wet paper on the floor. And he's like, ah. And I was like, it's an art studio. It's normal. And we just laughed. It's like, okay. Painted paper on the floor. Sounds about right. Look, we have our covers. Ooh, I love that paper. Now, I'm going to just tell you how I was going to use this. But I think the way that we could use this, so this is you can't tear it. This is a book binding tape that is made for binding books. I think it's Lineco, but I'm not 100% sure. But what I was thinking is we would just tape it to the inside edge of both sides, and then put another piece on the outside, and that could be your spine. That most certainly could be your spine. However, I think I'm going to stick to fabric. Actually, let's do both. Let's just do something new. I don't know if it's new and improved, but it's new. Wouldn't that be sweet, Dawn? He's so cool. I would love to have him here again. Yeah, it would be awesome. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is use this bookbinding tape on the inside covers, and then when I peel it off, I'll stick the fabric on the other side and glue the fabric to the front cover. Yeah, this is an experiment. Let me find the fabric that I'm going to put on here real quick. I think I'll use this one. I kind of hate to use white only because it shows dirt, but might be really pretty. This is just a tea towel from Walmart. You get like 10 of them for $6 or something. Hey Darla, how you doing? How you doing, Melissa and Kim? Let's see. Here's the thing, if it gets dirty, I'll just paint it. But for now, we'll do this because it's accessible and available. And this is an experiment anyways. So. Once this is down, that's it. There's no turning back. That's all she wrote. Now, I really want these even. So I'm going to use my glass mat, line things up nice and even. Looks like this would be about 1 inch. Let's do 1 1/4 inches. 1 1/4 inch gap. Nope, we need that quarter for the tape to connect. So it's going to be a 1 inch spine. Now, it would be important that this is on a glass mat, otherwise that would stick to something you don't want it to stick to. So we could put paper over here, but I think I do want to do fabric. Or do I want to do paper? Oh, the decisions. I'm looking through my fabric scraps real quick, y'all. There's this one piece of fabric that I love so much, and I think it just won the contest. Okay, so this, I'm gonna make this the front, right? This is the back. Oh boy, let's get random hairs out of there. Okay. So that's the front, this is the back. Let me trim this fabric down. Yeah. Winner, winner. And for the edges, I'm going to glue it down with a Fabri-Tac. Might be a little narrow over here, but it'll be fine. I'm just going to use Fabri-Tac for this edge. I can put some in here too. I'm not worried about this cover. It'll last a very long time. This might be my new favorite way to bind hardcover books. We might have just stumbled onto my new favorite because I really don't have to worry about the integrity of it. I know it's gonna last. We have to see what it's like stitching through it. Poking holes and doing a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I do wish I would have lined more fabric. I wish I would have lined my fabric up a little better. And I am making sure to get in the seam right here. And of course up on the edge. To really tack it down. Sometimes you just have to play new. Okay, I definitely like this better than white too. I don't know, a white just seems like a recipe for disaster, but look, we have a journal. It wasn't that hard, was it? You can do it. Now I know you might have to purchase this tape, but you can make a whole bunch of books with it. Okay, and I like that it's see-through. Let's do our end papers and then we can stitch in our cover or stitch in our signatures. Mary, I got your postcard yesterday. Mary has been traveling for like months and is still traveling longer. She took a very small amount of craft supplies with her, but she's picking things up along the way and making these really cool collaged postcards. I don't have it with me. I just picked it up yesterday and it's in the other room. A lot of times when your stuff comes in, you guys, it goes straight. I have this like special curio cabinet in my dining room where cards go. And that's where y'all's cards go. I am measuring this with my eyeballs. Danger. I can always trim more off, but I can't add it back on, right? So I'm just going to trim a little. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, and then that was okay. So I'm going to cut those down to these down to 4, I think. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, so thanks for thinking of me, Mary. And I loved the postcard. You know, I love collage. I cannot wait for you guys to see this crazy fun collage card I made the other day. Oh my goodness. You guys are going to hopefully love it. I loved it. It'll come out this week, actually. It's going to be a fun video. Oh, thanks, Debbie. You're so sweet. Debbie just gifted a membership to my channel. Thanks, Deb. Now somebody will get that. So someone here in the chat, I believe is how it works, who's not a member, will get a free membership to my channel for a month. Now, my channel memberships have changed. When I first started, to be honest, last year I was able to work a lot of 40-hour weeks instead of 60, and this year that's changed. But when I originally set it up, it was going to have a lot of different content, which it does. There's probably 15 videos there that are members only videos. But right now it's set up in a way that's kind of like buy me a coffee. Like, it's a way of supporting my channel if you want. And then you get to see some of my videos first. I can't do all of my videos because some of my videos are collaborations with other people, and I can't release before the team, but some of my content you get to see early. We just built a really fun journal cover, if I do say so myself. Shay, you got it. Shay, you got the, Shay, I think you got the membership. Thanks, Debbie. That's awesome. Thank you. You're so sweet. I cannot wait to see you in real life so I can hug your neck and hang out with you. It's going to be so much fun. Now I just want to sit here and make these all day. Don't worry, we're not going to do that, but that's what I want to do. I'm wondering, though, if the spine's going to be thick enough. Yeah, it will, for the 2 signatures. Oh, this is going to be a fun little journal. Okay, let's use the jumbo paper clips. It doesn't have to be these. I just have these. Oh, I love these colors so much. These were a gift in my Happy Meal. Look at those colors. Okay, but they are great for signatures. So let's flip through and make sure we don't have anything upside down. Now, there's not anything that's too terribly directional. There's only a couple of pages that are real directional, but you want to flip through, make sure it feels good. You've got things where you want them, that kind of thing. Looks all good to me. Looks good to me. Okay, so since that's good, the next thing you want to do is mash your paper down and make sure it's all really kind of tucked in there. And then I'm going to put a jumbo paper clip on this side, and I'm going to put a jumbo paper clip on this side. I've got pages at different heights, okay? So I'm going to kind of clip this one a little differently because, see, I mean, I just didn't catch that one, but they are at different heights. So I think I'm going to clip it a little differently than I normally would. Over clipping is not a bad thing. It actually makes the sewing process so much easier the more you clip. So I am a fan of a lot of clipping. Okay, I'm gonna flip through this one real quick. Everything looks good. Everything is upright. One thing I do think, though, is I'll switch this paper out because I had tipped in this paper, but the full sheet is right here. So I can switch this one out, potentially, with one from over here. Yes, have to unclip it. But that's not really that big of a deal. Let's see if there's a page over here I can switch this out with. Let's switch it out with this one. Okay. Then we'll put this one over here. Well, yeah, and I'll just put a different piece in there. It'll be fine. Everything's fine. Okay, I'm going to tuck the crease back inside itself like that. I'm going to do the same thing I did already. I'm going to clip this down really, really well. And by clipping it really well, you guys, what it makes it, you definitely want to make sure though that your pages are really well tucked into there. Okay, but by doing this, it kind of helps your needle from skipping around between the pages. I even like it with this clip closer like this to the center of the journal versus out here. Because what can happen is your needle can come through, but maybe come through here instead of here. Okay, let's clip this one together. So I'm going to make sure that I'm tucking, oops, this is my center page, tucking this in really well. And I'm clipping it everywhere. Okay. And this should make sewing it together so much easier. Let's look at this now. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of an alligator mouth situation, but we also have a lot of clips in there. So I think it'll just lie flat. And if it's an alligator mouth journal, that's fine because it's mine. And this is for my own personal use, so I really don't care. So now let's sew this in. We've got a really narrow 1-inch spine here. So I'm going to grab an 8.5 by 11. Here we go. I'm going to trim off 1 inch. This is just another random Hobby Lobby thing. Like I said, I just keep those over there for heat embossing. Okay, this will be fine. We have a 1-inch spine. I'm going to cut 2 of these off. Okay. One of these will be a template for my holes here, and one will be a template for the stitching. Okay, so I just folded that 4 times, and basically that's going to give me 3 holes. Next thing I'm going to do is mark these with a T for the top. Very important. Don't skip that step. I'm going to do the same thing. These are the same height, same width. So I'll get the same lineup. Okay. And now I'm just going to eyeball a little bit. Turn this way so y'all can see it. Just going to kind of eyeball the first ones like that. Okay, and then I'm going to use my ruler. Catch the other ones. I'm not being like overly precise, only because it's mine, and I would be fine just jabbing holes in it and it not being perfect. Okay, so now we've got our tops, right? And everything's lining up between my 2 sheets of paper here. I'm just gonna put a little, so I can see it and you can see it. I'm gonna put a little mark there, like that, okay? Make this hole bigger. Okay, this should be good. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paper clip these down. Welcome to the glue crew, Debbie. Welcome, welcome. I found another crafter after I set up my memberships, and she has a glue crew, and I was like, oh boy, should I rename my glue crew to something else? Dream Team? Should we just all be the Dream Team? But yeah, it was funny. I was like, oh, there's 2 glue crews out there. Okay, here is my signatures. I'm gonna take this one, and see, this is why it's important to have that top marked. I'm gonna line it up to the top and bottom of my page here, like so. And now I'm gonna mark with my pen where to poke the holes for the signatures. That's what this little second template is for. Now, 1-inch spines, 2-inch spines, 3-inch spines, you could create these templates in advance and just save them if you made them out of a thicker paper and not have to recreate them for every journal, but I tend to just recreate them for every journal. But you could make a 1-inch spine with 1 signature, a 1-inch spine with 2 signatures. You could make a 2-inch spine with 2 signatures, 3 signatures. You know, you could make the templates in advance. Okay, now I know that these are all going to line up with one another, and I can get to sewing in my signature, just in case you've never seen that before. Stay hydrated. Gotta stay hydrated. I live in Texas. Ooh, look at this. Let's use this pretty pink. I love it. That's the color. So I'm gonna use that pink. That's a waxed linen thread. My favorite all and some needles. You want your thread to be 3 lengths. For the 3-hole pamphlet stitch, which is the name of the stitch, it's in the name. You want 3 lengths of string per signature. Okay, so I measured that out, 3 full lengths, and now for the second signature, I don't ever measure it again. I just measure it to the string I already did. Like so. Oh boy. There we go. Thread is ready for both signatures. Find my needle. Oh my goodness. I know, Debbie. All it took was us getting solar panels, and it has rained ever since. But I tell you what, yesterday it was 95 with a heat index of 108. So I don't mind the rain. I don't mind the rain at all, because I know what's coming our way. You guys, I'm kind of like a total nuisance when it comes to making sure that I've got a tight crease in all of my papers and that they're shoved down. Yeah, I'm kind of a nuisance when it comes to that. So I'm going to poke my holes in my signature first. And now I made my holes really bright and kind of obnoxiously there, but you don't have to do that. I did that for the camera. I did that for you guys. I did it for you. So now my holes are poked in that signature. I'm going to do it again over here. See, just poking my needle through each hole. Okay. like so. All right. Now, my signatures are ready. I want to poke my holes here as well. Oh, pokes right through. Perfect. I wasn't sure how that book binding tape was going to be, but it's like a dream. I think I definitely just stumbled upon a new favorite hardcover. What's great is that I'll get to use this one and see how it wears and tears over time before I start making a bunch of them to sell to other people. I like if I'm selling something for it to be like tried and true, but I do have a lot of faith in this bookbinding tape. Okay, holes are in. Now we can stitch. I don't really need this template here anymore or these paper clips. Now all I have to do is take my string and put it together. I've only ever had one other fabric or soft spine before. I'm so excited that we went with a soft spine. Okay, hold on. Just trying to line up my holes here. And see, it's not coming, oh, there it is. It is coming through. Okay. I will tell you, if you are struggling to get it through your paper, you noticed when I was poking my, or maybe you noticed, when I was poking my holes into the paper with my awl, I had my paper bent. So you want to bend your paper again. And that really helps line things up. Back through this hole. And through the book. And not splitting our thread. There we go. You want to be on, you want to have one string. Now I have a lot of extra twine this time, but that's because my holes are not up here, but they're kind of more central based. Okay, but you want a piece of string on each side of the center. You want to make sure they're really tight. You want to look over here and make sure that they're really tight. You want to make sure your book isn't shifting up and down. And then tie a couple of knots. And by having your strings, your tie strings on each side of the center line, it keeps them from pulling through the book. It goes back to the integrity of the book construction. Cool. I have this little bit of extra. This would be good for like a little junk journal, a mini junk journal. Hi, Maritza. Welcome, welcome. I'm going to leave my papers clipped for now while I'm sewing and signatures. In fact, I'm going to bring this clip over and clip it to everything because it just keeps it out of the way for me. And now I get to sew in this signature. I hope this helps you guys. Maybe take out some of the intimidation factor of making a journal. You don't have to stitch them in. You can just use elastic, you can use string and just tie it into the book. You know, it's called a flow journal. You can definitely do it. I love flow journals because your pages can always be rearranged. You could use a 3-ring binder to start. You can use all kinds of ways. You can use tab binding. We've made a tab binding journal here on my channel. You can just look up tab binding and find lots of great videos on tab binding. So if the needle and thread just gives you angst, don't worry. It doesn't mean you can't make journals. You just make them different. And we've almost done it. We've almost made a whole junk journal here today. Yippee! We've talked about printer paper and the kind that I like to use for my printables. We've talked about nasty comments. We made a journal without any printables. It is totally possible and beautiful and fine. If you don't have a printer, don't let that stop you. I'm having a problem getting it through all the pages. See, it's slipping somewhere back here behind these pages. I don't know which page it's slipping behind, but it's not poking through. This just happens. Clipping really does help. Still doing it again. I think we got it that time. Nope. This just happens, you guys. I don't know what causes this. I know, you know, it's just it just happens. I don't know why. I think I got it that time. Yes. Yay. So just be patient, be gentle. You'll get it eventually. It did split my thread. So let me fix that. Luckily it just split it right there where I can easily find it and fix it. No problem. That's resolved. If your thread is split, you will not be able to tighten your signature properly. You have to fix it. And what happens is, you know, there was already the thread in that same hole that you're going back through, and it can just split it sometimes. It just happens. But you want to fix it, or otherwise you can't get it tight. Let me check this other side. It looks nice and tight. So we're good to go. I like big bows. If you don't, you can just knot it. You can put the bow on the outside. I just tend to put them on the inside. Let's unclip this. We just made a journal. This is a listing journal. So it's made for listing. Is that all the clips? I felt like there should be another one, but that's all the clips. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I think she'll calm down and won't be as much of an alligator mouth, but there's the spine. Nice and even signatures. Now, obviously, I could have taken these longer. I just didn't feel like measuring. I did the quick measurement and did the shorter distance. But those pages are definitely in there. They're not going anywhere. Let's flip through this. And take a look. Ooh, this was definitely made for me. This is my vibe here. This is perfect. Okay. Love the cover. No, it's not done yet. But I do love it. I love that I have this fabric. This fabric came from someone's estate that was donated to the food bank thrift store that my mom volunteers at. And they weren't going to sell it. She said they were going to throw it away. And she saved it for me because she knew, because it was too scrappy. They thought it was too scrappy, the thrift store, that they couldn't sell it because it was just a bag of scraps. It was like in a garbage bag. And my mom said, oh, I'll take it for my daughter. I bet she can use it. And I got this lady's scraps, and I just felt like so honored because she saw potential in them, and now I get to use them and see potential. This was like the biggest piece of the fabric that was in the bag, and the rest was like literally scraps. But I told my mom, like, I feel so honored that I got her bag of scraps because I can definitely make things out of them. We just made the spine of this journal with them. So she rescued them for me. And she rescues old books for me and all kinds of stuff that they won't sell at the thrift store. And it becomes a junk journal. So I had someone comment like, you know, why are you tearing up books? And I've had that comment a few times. I'm tearing up books that even a thrift store doesn't want to sell, okay? So if I don't use them, they're going directly into the landfill. And when I drive on the other side of town, I can see the landfill. It's like a mountain. So I'm doing a favor to my community by keeping that landfill a little shorter, you know, and making something beautiful. So I know it hurts to tear up old books, but sometimes, and in the case of the books that I get, the ones I source, if I don't use them, they're going in the trash. So that makes it a little easier, I think. So I am going to flip through this real quick and show you what it looks like. Front and cover. Here's the inside. Now this is a tall journal. Okay, this is 11 inches, so it's kind of hard for me to get it in frame here. I'm going to turn it to the side. I just used scrapbook paper from Maggie Holmes, tea-dyed paper, and then these vintage book pages that came from Human Curiosity on Etsy. Some of the scrapbook page I kept at 12 inches, and I just folded it instead of cutting it. So now I have a fold-out page. I love it. I don't mind the white pages at all. I'll get to decorate and paint and write on them. This is a listing journal, so I plan on just writing people's names and different scriptures. This is a pocket here. I'm glad I left it extended like this so I'll remember that it's a pocket, but I made a pocket out of an old book page. Here's an old book page that's tipped in, that I didn't want to glue any of it down, and so there's that. Yeah, and then more scrapbook paper, more tea-dyed paper, more vintage book pages. Just love the vibe of this journal. I love this floppy spine. We're going to be making more covers like this, I have a feeling. It was really easy. I mean, I have a lot of experience making covers, but it was pretty easy to do. I like the index pages. Since this is a listing journal, I love that there's index pages. This is from a dictionary, I think. No, I don't know what that's from. Doesn't matter. It's really cool. So, oh, thanks, Linda. Yay for alligator mouth. Hey, Pam. How are you, dear? Pam, I had chocolate cupcakes for breakfast. 2 mini chocolate cupcakes that Sparkle Heart made yesterday. They were delicious. That was my breakfast this morning. Oh my goodness. I love this journal. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me make it. Now I do have these printables that I'm going to be adding to it, which I think is the perfect vibe for all these. So I have these little prayer tags that have scriptures for the back of them. I have these. These again are from Jesus Junk Journaling. So I know a lot of you are looking for more faith printables. So I wanted to show you a different shop. It's new to me. The owner is super sweet, and she has a YouTube channel. Now, some of her printables, I really think you need to watch her YouTube channel to know how to put them together, because she designs like mini folios and things like that. So a lot of her printables are designed in a very specific way. These are some pages that I printed 4 copies to a page, so 4 to a page. And I got these because I wanted to make little like postcards to go inside here out of these pages. And these pages were designed for an 8.5 by 11, like a typical junk journal. And I was making a document style, which is not typical. So these are folded on the vertical, and these designs are being folded on the horizontal. So since I couldn't really use the pages for the pages in my journal, I turned them into journaling cards. But you know, I could definitely use these, and these are totally in my vibe. So those will be added. I will come back and share bits and pieces that I can, but I can tell you, like, this is a prayer journal, so I'll be writing like prayers in here and people's names. The idea is to list people's names that I want to hold in prayer. And this is kind of my heart check journal, where I check my heart and see where I'm, you know, how my heart check in, just to see that I am, you know, doing well with my thoughts, with my prayers, with my time. So that's what this is for. So you probably won't see a lot of the finished pages, because that's maybe everyone doesn't want their names shown, but that's what this is for. And again, you could use it for anything you want. You don't have to use, this doesn't have to be your prayer journal. You could make one of these for any kind of journaling, but that's what I'm using this one for. Yeah, I just made this journal. Nima, welcome. But I did make it from beginning to end. And so if you do go back and watch, you'll see exactly how I made the cover. You'll see me cutting all the paper, folding all the paper, making the signatures, sewing the signatures in. You'll see a full beginning to end process. We just made this live. So, you know, definitely go back and catch that if you like. So thanks for hanging out with me. Debbie J, thanks again for gifting a membership. That was so sweet. And thanks for becoming a member yourself. That is uber sweet as well. If you guys don't ever feel bad about if you can't be a member to my channel, just by liking, honestly, hitting the like button on a video is so important in the YouTube land. So just by liking my video and watching, leaving me a comment, sharing, those are free ways you can subscribe to my channel, which is free. Joining my channel is different. To be a paid member is different than just subscribing, but if you subscribe to my channel, it's absolutely free. And those help a whole lot. So it's all appreciated very, very much. I hope you guys have a wonderful Memorial Day. And for those who are overseas, just have a wonderful day. And I will see you guys later. Bye, everyone.